that is really rare these days. So that's why I think everyone loves Lowpander, because they bring something new to the table, and each game they play has something quite unique to it.
Yeah, and Hildreth has been playing the game longer than I've been alive, even though TF2 is only a 10-year-old game. And Hildreth getting the mid with the Quickie Bomb launcher. Going to be going for a nice little sticky to block Smire's sticky that came out through the battlements. And that's going to slow things down just long enough for Mookie running that eviction notice to get it on top of him. He's got the Tomislav out. He's ready and firing. He does spot out. Smire takes him down right away, and he's getting eyes onto the soldier who just tried to bomb it. AMS is taking so much damage. It's Scrab rotating back and forth outside of the garage. Going to get down onto Crayon. Crayon is trying desperately to get away, but the soldiers and the scouts are too strong. Wow. Antic coming very strong. Smire the only death.
Yeah, this is wow, I didn't expect Antic to win the first minute. I thought I would be a bit surprised by the heavy, and they would need some time to understand how to counter that, but maybe they have done their homework properly, and they looked like they were ready for the heavy. As soon as he arrived, just AMS completely pressured him, and it was really nice play from Antic, and now it's Lowpander sitting on their lap with the sniper and the heavy, and they're gonna have to face a fully charged Uber from Turbo Monkey.
You see Uber's sitting up top. He does spot out the soldier, the scout rather, coming in through that Uber. It's going to be a nice little juggle onto Smire, who is going to be working his way with the stickies, not connecting on the Cookie, who's got the heavy out, shooting all these players, slowing him down. A big bomb from Mookie, trying to come in, Scrab going to snipe him out of the air. Hildreth now throwing stickies, denying any entry from Turbo, but he's got the arrows out, trying to keep his players alive. It's not going to work though. Uber's staying on top of that crate very healthily. Going to be fighting up on Tom now, who did manage to pick up Crayon. And with Crayon down, that's going to be both medic down on the respawn timer, but the recap is going to happen. AMS currently at the Z, trying to make his way out. He does manage to sneak his way out. Going to be able to get back into the healing at mid, but the cap will go off, and the forward spawns didn't go through. They are all the way back at second.
A really nice play from Tom, who, in the confusion, he just jumped in, and while no one was looking at him, he just went for Crayon completely uncontested, so he salvaged some the situation for his team. Allowing Turbo Monkey to have the same Uber as Crayon, and now it's gonna be one of Granary's most hated feature. I think it's gonna be a hold on mid, and no one really likes this. But we know that Lowpander has some ways to break stomachs. Ubers love to run the banner, even if he's not doing it right now. And Mookie is arrow building to the right side. It's Crayon actually has the small Uber advantage.
Yeah, building with that the arrows is just so strong in this meta right now. It can completely destroy everything about counting Ubers, and it's one of the unfortunate things about it right now. There is talks about a buff change, or rather a nerf, coming to prevent it from overbuilding the Uber charge. And there's actually a player rotating through the left side. That's Mookie, who died earlier, and that opened up the door for Potato to get on the cap on last. He's going to be shooting at these scouts, and that's going to be pulling every single player behind. Hildreth is going to pick up Smire, though, with a nice blind det from those stickies. Able to catch that demo man. It's going to be a huge exchange. Unfortunately, Antic couldn't just walk in while the distraction was happening for Potato because of Smire's death, and now they're going to be walking in, trying to take over these crates. The bomb from Uber's going to juggle off poor Tom. He's going to be rotating over for the health pack, and the exchange is happening. AMS is now getting buffed, rushing into Uber, is going to juggle him into the air, and is now going to be rotating over to the crates, trying to get the high ground, chasing this frag onto Ubers so desperately, and Ubers is going to be backing out just in time for the rotation from Mookie, who's going to crater to his death, unfortunately. And now, can the rest of the Lowpander get their stuff together and get out in time? Mon taking a little bit of spam here, going to barely get out of there. Mookie the only exchange there, and Smire walking over to the garage trying to get their way in, and it's going to be a slow push and a retake of this yard while the setup is happening on second. Things are going to be slowing down for just a moment as their players get underway, sitting in the yard, waiting for an opportunity. Fighting Lunchbox right now. Scrab pushing out Cookie a little bit there, but going to rotate back to the heel beam on the yard. And things are going to be nice and patient.
Mookie is on the spy, and this is not to check for off classes. He's actually going for it. But is he gonna meet maybe AMS on top? No, he's near drop down. He's gonna wait there for the medic maybe, as Antic is trying to go onto the lunchbox, and he gets caught off by AMS, who I think randomly bumped in him. So this is a reset for Mookie, and maybe Antic will try to get to make use of this one number advantage, rotating to the left door with both of the soldiers. Maybe Ams wants to lead his Uber from the top. He's going for his medic, and it looks like Turbo Monkey is going to follow him up top onto the lunchbox.
Mon almost dances with the devil on top of those stickies while the rest of this push is coming from AMS, who doesn't even need an Uber to take down Ubers. But he gets arrow shot and juggled by Mookie, who also gets taken down. AMS is unstoppable. He's going to take another arrow from the shot as soon as Turbo can get his way into the sight line. AMS going to be rotating over to the pack, grab it up, and now with that incredible exchange in the upper lobby, that's going to be the end of this last hold, because it's going to be a lot of pressure. Air shot trying to come through. AMS connects with him on the landing, and Mon goes down. AMS just unstoppable right now. He doesn't even have an Uber on him. He's just going to walk forward and force off the Uber. AMS, you're unstoppable.
It looks like AMS is on one of the situations where he knows he can do everything he wants. But now the Uber has been used by Turbo Monkey onto the last. Smear is going really aggressive, helped by his Scowl, but with the upper ground, Ubers did a lot of job, and only Mon died onto the Lowpander side, and Crayon just cleans up Tom, and this fight should be over. Maybe Lowpander will try to repush this. They have 3 players advantage, and you don't really want to get stuck into Granary's last, because if you can't get out, you're gonna get stuck forever.
AMS, please! He's just hitting air shots, taking down Hildreth right away, and a follow-up from Mookie, who managed to get his way in through the Z. Gonna get cleaned up by Scrap immediately, who's gonna be rotating to the point, getting this cap finished off. Not gonna be recapped any moment now. So now we have the defensive Lowpander setting up for a defense with no demo man up, but Smear was an exchange in that last fight, and as a result, there is not going to be any kind of pushing out from either side. Typically on this last, if your demo man dies, it is a free push. There are no stickies to slow you down. You can take all the positioning you want, get on top of the pipes, slow players down, and Hildreth has to be a little bit more careful the next time he pushes out, but that was an incredible shot from AMS to juggle Hildreth and then take him out.
And Ams is not spy. I think he's just looking for classes into spawn, and so he's doing Mookie, so maybe they're just branding each other. Mookie calling for a spy on the other team while IMS is doing the same, but in the end, none of them are staying spy. I think Mookie is just gonna switch. Oh no, Mookie is still on spy, he's on top, he's trying to go for the... Look at him, he's up there, just under the ceiling. I think I've never seen anyone being there. I didn't even know you could go there. And there's gonna be a sniper duel between Potato and Mon. This is going to be interesting because now Uber is on the banner as well, and these trades, they're not going to use Uber. Uber is going to wait for his banner to be full and maybe get a clean matchup when the Ubers have been exchanged.
Smear very dangerously dancing between this point while the sightline is open for Mon. Mon getting good eyes onto the point. Smear could get taken down here. He does sit behind the thing. One more peek is also going to take, building up this battalion's backup. Meanwhile, as Ubers, as he's holding up that shutter for his teammate to get the shots off, and now here's the calling horn. He's going to be pulling it off, but he doesn't get it off in time because the snipe takes down Mon. Potato doing a good job sniping there. AMS walking into the battalion's backup. Going to get cleaned up by Ubers, who's soloing this, and Mookie gets fully charged shot by Potato, who's having a field day at the sightline.
You drop Turbo in the process, so I'd take that trade any day. And now Potato is sitting on second, really weak with 50 HP. And someone is on last. What? Scrap does it. Like, what happened? This fight was so messy once again. That was that's a messy first round. I don't think everyone really understood what happened, but Scrap did and just went for the back cap, and that's 1-0 for Antic now.
Mookie also on that heavy now for this mid fight. They're going to be going for it again, even though their mid didn't work out. Mookie going to be late once again. Hildreth trying to slow down with some pipe spam. AMS on the crate very comfortably here. And Uber's going to be rotating over top of the garage, jumping into the Demo Man Smear, who's going to get juggled just a tiny bit before he rotates back out. Ubers gets taken down. The heavy is on top of the crate and has dropped down now off of Catwalk. Eyes on AMS, but AMS jumps right past him. Going to be getting eyes onto Cookie. Takes him down. And Hildreth will be able to pick that up at the very end. It is just Scrab alive as he rotates out to Yar, but Hildreth could potentially chase this down and take him out. Nope, Scrab does manage to get away in time. We'll Will he initiate onto Hildreth? He's actually waiting right next to the shutter, and Hildreth also is expecting it, but nothing happens. Very patient play from Hildreth. Avoids the death there.
What a mid from Hildreth. He just sat on top forever and spammed everyone out with pipes and stickies. And usually when the other demo is on top, you want to take him out of there. You want to jump him or get Scott to pressure him. But here, Hildreth was just the king of the hill, and no one could put him up the crates. And now Lowpander is going for nice push onto Launchbox with a full Uber ad. Crab is on Sniper and then Neji is being set up on last, so Antic doesn't want to commit for the second point, and they're just gonna wait for the Uber, hoping to just kite it forever.
And over here on Granary is one of the main problems that was talked about for the heavy Pantasha is the slowing bullets on Granary last is so strong, and he's on top of the pipeline, so far away from the enemy players, to be able to snipe them down with little shots peppering at their bodies. And that's going to slow him down. Ubers tries to jump in, gets taken down by Tom. Tom just needs one arrow and he's back in the fight. Not even going to scratch him. He's so strong. Good retake from Antic as they push forward and get a full wipe, only losing AMS in the process.
Nice hold from Antic, like taking advantages of any edge they could. Tom on the pipe was... I didn't expect that. It was really nice play from the Roma. And now Turbo is as 100% ad, and if Antic is quick enough, it could just caught everyone off guard and use the Uber to burst through the choke.
The count goes off, and now we do see the players getting in position. They do have full Uber, and AMS has opted to go to Spy. No, he was getting the fourth. I'm sorry. I'm very stupid. He was getting the forward spawn, not the Spy play. So no aggressive Spy while they have Uber advantage. They're going to be going in. Mookie, though, connects onto Turbo with 2 clean rockets into the choke point. How he got through there was not right. He shouldn't have gotten that much freedom to just jump in and connect 2 rockets. Turbo, a little bit too far forward, in my opinion, to die to that. And as a result, there's going to be Uber in the way of Cran as he's at 95%, pushing through the choke, trying to retake this mid. It is just Scrab alive. No players going for a back cap as far as I can see. Smear in the drop down, or the garage, getting a little bit of a juggle there as he throws stickies on top of the garage. Connects onto the scout, but he survives.
And now Lowpander is on the upper side again. They have the Uber. They want to take it really quickly onto Mon. Look at this. Mon is just going really deep. He gets Potato, and now they have the Uber. They can collapse on everyone with Hildreth onto the Uber. Uber is finally being used by Crayon really deep. Tom dies, and everyone is hiding into spawn because you don't want to face Mr. Epic Wrath. And now Lowpander is sitting on last and getting the frag. What a chase from Mon, just leading the charge with the heals. I think Crayon only had the beam on him all the time, and yeah, that's successful. Just heal the Russian and win the round.
That was a huge play. I think it all comes down to Turbo dropping that Uber 100%. That was the issue. It was just a little bit too far forward, and that bomb was very well timed by Mookie. 2 clean rockets able to connect onto it. Turbo should have waited for the rest of his team to go forward before popping it, or at least pushing through, and as a result, they lose the round. Hildreth now gonna juggle Smear off the point, off the catwalk for just a moment, but Smear's not afraid to get the stickies and cut off the entryway. Mookie is still late to the mid, gonna be getting there very shortly. Mon gonna get the first pick onto Scrab, but the strong AMS gonna take on Ubers, and Smear's gonna take on Hildreth. Both players exchange against their counterparts in the opposing team. Mon gonna get taken down with very low health, 1 HP! Finally gets cleaned up by Potato, who doesn't have Potato aim, thankfully. Pipe's gonna be flying on top of Mookie and take it down. Smear connecting that pipe, and a Cookie backing off with Turbo, or Cran, excuse me, backing off to this last, where they will be able to hold on to the Uber and get ready for defense.
It looked like Smear really understood how to counter Mookie on the heavy, and now he's trying to go really deep onto the Uber. Arms jumps in trying to go for the force, but he's being greeted by Ubers and Mon, I think, and just dies. Cookie, I mean, it just dies. So usually you really don't really want to kill Amps on Loud because that means it's just gonna get an outclass. But Mookie is on Spy already, so maybe he'll know it. That's already the 3rd time Mookie goes to Spy, so maybe this time they will expect it. So I don't think Turbo Monkey should drop to that, but you never know on this game and when it involves Mookie.
Mookie playing such a serious waiting game as he does pick his opportunity and actually manages to sneak in through the shutter because the shutter was open, and he's right next to Turbo, who's looking around very carefully waiting for that spy play, but Mookie just needs to decloak at any moment and it could be all over. Turbo, though, keeping good eyes on it. A little bit of distraction, but it's all it takes. AMS sacks himself, rushing forward. Mon on the sniper, going to be getting eyes on point, and Mookie just manages to sneak past it. We'll be getting onto the players there, and now he does get it. Does big cloak. He gets a double. Can he get a triple? Oh, Mookie going full force. This recap is all but assured for them. AMS on the respawn coming in. Who's Z? Going to be getting into the point. Snaps onto Cran, who is going to get forced off. And with that Uber lost, it's going to be a balanced, even Uber as soon as Turbo respawns.
There's no way it worked. I mean, they should have expected it. It's already the third or fourth time that Mickey's going spy, and yet he got 3 frags, 2 backup and 1 peaceful shot. The Antic is just replying right away with the 2 frags into the mid really early, and the frag onto Udrak is maybe crucial. Crayon flew over the mid, but finally gets it cleaned, and the big guns are put now. Can Cookie lives versus Smear? No, he gets piped, but what an aggression for Antic this fight. Like, everyone died but Smear in this fight, and that was really impressive show of DM from both teams.
So close. That was exactly the momentum shift they needed to take that round. Lowpander, however, could not close out the mid. Mookie came in late and was able to clean up those 2 players with 1 rocket, but unfortunately Smear stayed alive just long enough to pipe off the last scout, and now, once again, Lowpander are in a position where they're not exactly comfortable. They're uncertain of what the future holds, and that retake of second and mid was what they needed to hold on to this. But now they're back on the defensive, waiting for this Ubers to build.
We mentioned how badly wanted this team to play aggressive, and I think that's quite the case with Ams as well. Ams doesn't really like to sit around and just wait forever. He wants to go for aggressive play, so maybe that's the core of this. Mookie is on the drop down, trying to flank onto Potato, and doesn't get the... Yeah, he finally does Potato, but in the end that's just 1 frag versus for Antic, and they could push on the flank now. I mean, no flank scout and no roamer. That's a freeway for the second point.
There is a sticky trap right above it. I'm looking at Hildreth's perspective. He is ready to pop that at any moment. AMS, no! He walks right past the sticky trap, didn't even know it was there. Hildreth popped it a little bit too early, getting juggled a little bit, but now AMS jumps onto Crayon, takes it out, that Uber, and now goes down himself. It is the medic Turbo with full Uber, rotating over to Z, getting onto Scrab, who's going to be rucking forward right now. He is spamming some shots while peppering that point, trying to get it through. Mookie goes down from Tom over in the lunchbox, who is going to be waiting for that health pack. And with 2 frags on the side of Lowpander, it's going to be a quick push and getting some high ground right now. We do see Cookie on the heavy, shooting the minigun as much as he can, trying to get onto Smear, who does manage to take him down with a great ballad of explosive devices. And Hildreth, the last one alive almost. It's going to be a desperate push from Mon, who's still alive, and the bomb from Mookie is going to get some good damage onto AMS, who gets taken down. It's Turbo last alive. He gets cleaned up by Mon, and that's going to be a retake, a full wipe from
Lowpander. Oh yeah, from yeah. In the end, that's just Granary last. If you can kite the Uber, the last is so big, you can kite the Uber for so long that in the end can just take the edge on the fight for some reason. And now Crayon sits on a 100% Uber ad, and even though Scrab is on sniper, that shouldn't prevent Lowpander from pushing into mids. Looks like Crayon is gonna orientate his beam to the ramp room, and he's going with Mon and Mookie. Mookie jumps in to make some move, but he gets shut down by Smire, and the Uber is finally used onto Mon. That worked really well the last time, and now Mon is trying to get really deep, but he just goes back and realizes this is it. The job has been done, and now he just has to cap points. And now it's like it's what was kind of a weird push, but I assume just because it's Granary, it's really hard to have good Ubers on this. But now they only got 1 point out of it, and Turbo already have 80% of Ubers, but Crayon is arrow building so fast, it doesn't even add a disadvantage anymore, and they can hold really cautiously the middle now. Yeah, it's actually a really close game. I didn't expect it to go this way, but the aggression from Antic are actually quite effective versus Lowpander.
AMS now trying to peek his way through the catwalk in Garage, but now it's going to be rotating over to the choke. Early Uber force is going to happen. He's going to get juggled high into the sky. Tries to connect on the Cram, but cannot even thread one rocket through that needle. And Turbo going to surf away very nicely, but might get cut out here potentially. It's Mon rushing forward with the pistol, going to take it down. And it's a follow from Scrab, who's going to be attacking out now. Mon is on the chase. He's got so much health and no fear whatsoever. Scrab gets taken down, and Potato's going to be rotating out of the shutter. Tom is still alive, though, over on the drop-down area. by Z. He's going to be rotating in and potentially catching out a player. Will he opt to go? No, he decides to go the long way around. And it's not going to be able to stop the players. It's just going to be starting a desperate back cap, which will not even work. It's going to be the cap. Tom, you were too hesitant.
That just goes to show the strength of arrow building. Antic went really deep onto mid, thinking they had the Uber at, but as Crayon arrow builded, he had the Uber in time, and Antic just crushed themselves into the Lowpander combo, and that was in the end that's a round for Lowpander. Really nice use of the crossbow from Crayon and his team, and really cohesive gameplay from them.
Going into our fourth mid now, we do see Mookie once again opting for it, and Hildreth gets taken down by Smear's very fast roll out there. Going to be able to stop that Devilman from coming in, and that's going to slow down Mookie's plans, who's also going to be backing out. Ubers with a desperate attempt to go in, does get cleaned up, and Mon is still alive with 6 HP. Juggle Chit on top of Smear's stickies, and Mookie also coming in trying to put as much damage as possible, gets taken down right away. The cap happening for Antic, and they will be working their way into last, potentially catch out Crayon before he can get the super in time. Really nice bomb from the soldier. Going to be able to get a lot of airtime onto Crayon, but Crayon stays alive, and the cap just goes right away. They don't even need to worry about killing Crayon. They just need to rush in and get the cap for free.
Wow, that round was so fast, and it's gonna what is happening, but I think it just everything goes on onto Smear's. He was so fast on mid, he got Hildreth really quickly, and then he completely shut down Mookie's onto mid, and that's how they play. That's what Lowpander used to win mid. They use Mookie, but if you can't go to mid, you win mid, and Smear understood that really quickly.
Smear does not manage to pick off Hildreth this time, but Hildreth is very low on health, going to grab the nice health pack arrow from his medic, but Mookie, not on heavy this time, gets taken down in the flank, and Garage is getting completely taken over by AMS, who's going to be walking forward now. Spots Crayon below, but doesn't even opt to go for it yet. Crayon is actually going to maybe... No, doesn't get his way out. AMS finally connects onto that. Cookie does manage to pick up AMS, and he's going to be going out of 2v1 against Potato and Scrab, who are very strong. Very nice exchange all around, but Mookie was a null factor at this mid. He got there very... just died in Garage from the aggression. They were expecting a heavy, and instead they found Mookie, killed him anyway. Yeah,
that's... maybe Antic actually understands how to break Lowpander strategies. Really interesting to see how fast they're on mid. Like, they really don't want the heavy to get any position onto mid, and if he's not a heavy, that's just as good, because that means on roamer, and he's quite less effective on roamer than on heavy when it comes to mid. So now Turbo Monkey is leading his team up to the top of second point, and if they are quick enough, this could be another really quick round. But as I said, Mookie's on the Henji, there's a sniper and the heavy. The Uber has been used onto Amps, really aggressive onto the heavy, but now everyone is hiding into spawn. The sentry doesn't die, it lives, finally gets taken down by Smeary, but now Lowpander can fight. Hildreth died, that's quite a heavy blow to Lowpander, and what the cap is being stacked. But what is this fight? Tom getting so many damage onto everyone, and that's another round for Antic. They know, they found the secrets.
That was a very interesting exchange in third person, floating above the point. The next person to step on the point immediately got retaliated by the next person, who got killed by the next person, who got killed by the next person, who got killed by the next person, and it was very exchanged on the point. Antic did manage to stay on top of it, and now taking their third round as Ire once again getting in much fast. Tags with a nice sticky, but also take one himself. Going to be slowing down Bond's entry into the point, but he's taken down here by Cookie, who rushed across the point, and now with Smear down, it's very hard for Antic to hold the midpoint, but Crayon, who rushed into the garage, does taken out by Tom, who also from Hildreth. Ubers, who's also managed to pick up on Potato. Mookie, the mid, doesn't seem to shoot. That Mookie didn't even get any chance to open his weapon.
Yeah, he hit some bullets, but in the end the mid was already over, and a really nice counter aggression from the scouts of Lowpander. They knew that Smeary was doing everything he could to prevent Mookie to go to mid, so Cookie and Mod just rushed Smeary and killed him quite early, allowed their team to just actually take some room. And but now with Crayon dead, Turbo Monkey has a full pad, and versus a heavy, they could just sat there forever. I mean, with the heavy, it's going to be hard for Lowpander to be quick into it, so maybe they could just trade Ubers and see how it goes. They actually don't have to push and just use the feature of the map to just win the game.
Yeah, holding on to this midpoint is going to be a little bit of a tricky situation, because they need to take one more round to at least bring it to a golden cap with only 5 minutes left and a small disad, but they don't know that. Unfortunately, Antic couldn't push their way in. They had plenty of opportunities, and AMS is on the spy. Can be working some espionage here in this this exchange. While Mookie goes forward, spots the spy, and it's gonna be checking for it. Walks into the scout, gets taken down by AMS's pistol, the revolver, and now he's fully ousted himself as a spy. Gets cleaned up by Ubers, and that's gonna be the end of AMS's life.
I wonder what Mickey's gonna respawn as. He's back onto the roaming soldier because he knows his team needs more mobility to win the round. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they fare. Ubers is getting really too deep into the ramp, but he gets cleaned up by Spirit. I don't really know what he did there, and I think that's a heavy blow for Lowpander because he was running the banner, and now he gotta have to charge it to the top once all over again. Arms is still on spy. Maybe they won't expect it twice in a row.
Things are slowed down, as this is what we can expect from Granary. Unfortunately, the pro cannot figure out the secret to making this less of a stalemate second point, and AMS sitting at the feet of Mookie, potentially trying to work his way through it. He does spot his way on top of the oil can, trying not to get tapped by any of these players, just casually walking next to him, and it's going to be an exchange on Ubers, rushing forward, gets a little bit of damage on the Scrab, and a follow-up from Cookie, able to make something happen. But AMS, while all that was happening, Hildreth got taken down in the garage, and now AMS is on top of Crayon. At any moment, he's going to be going for the dive bomb. He does sneak his way around and connects! Takes down Crayon, and now with no heals, no demo, it's going to be very hard for Lowpander to come back from this. Mon is alive, did take down Tom. It's going to be not in a position to go for a back cap, but could potentially go for Turbo if Turbo is not careful.
Turbo at the Uber, and now they just wanna. What Antic has to do is just clean up Mon, but Mon is going to mid right now, he's going onto Turbo Monkey, but he gets cleaned up by the scout. And I think now, with 3 down, you don't really want to sit on mid, you just want to push your advantage as much as you can and create as many room as you can between the other team and your last point, and that's what they're doing. Antic is pushing to the left yards, getting the room at it's given to them by Lowpander, and Mookie is on spy. Can he do it again? If he does it, this is unbelievable.
It's going to be all eyes on him as he does decloak. No one spots him, but Turbo is aware of it. He's going to be completely avoiding it, and no, that's going to be the end of it. Tom does get taken down by Hildreth, though, who was trying to work his way up in the upper battlements of this second point. And that's going to slow things down just a little bit because no soldiers in these enclosed spaces makes it really hard to win these fights, and we do see they're going to be working their way out. Ubers does spot out, or Smear gets a little bit of damage, juggling him in the air, but Smear is not afraid. He's got the pipes ready. The Uber guys get forced off. Both players are flashing all over the place. Smear, very low on health, going to have to take the rest of this Uber and slow down the players as much as possible. Uber's now in a position to back out, but he does have the battalions back up, ready to roll, thanks to all of that excellent damage he did. Cookie picking up on Potato, who was a little too far forward. Now it's going to be a repush from Lowpander working their way in. Mon taking a lot of damage here. Ubers does pop off that battalion's back up, and he's going to be getting his players a nice little damage resistance buff, but there's no one around. There's no one to fight with it. That was a poorly popped battalion's backup.
Potato is on sniper into the forward spawn. He's just going to wait for them to push. There's only 1 minute and 30 seconds left for Lowpander if they want to come back into this game. They're taking the left yard really aggressively. They have to make something happen right now if they want to win this mid. Uber is going to lead his medic up top with Mon and maybe try to get a good trade. But Hans is watching. He's going down. And Ubers is getting really aggressive. He's getting spammed down by Tom, and Uber has been used by Crayon, but he drops Ubers in the process, and now it's looking really grim from Lowpander. Turbo at the Uber, he doesn't even have to use.
Oh, but Turbo takes so much damage, almost drops at the very end, pops at the last possible second. The ultimate milk from Turbo Monkey right there. And that pop is going to be very good for them to retake this, but they only got 50 seconds to work with, and no Uber, potentially 1 Uber push left. If they can make it happen on second and wipe the players, they could take this round. All eyes are on Lowpander as they start building up their advantage. 30% advantage is pretty sizable, but they need to get it in the next 20 seconds if they want to hope on to getting this. They're going to be peppering the point a little bit with this tapping it and backing off. They could potentially get this cap, actually. They just gotta watch out for the spam and the sticky trap around the corner. Can they get on it? They are gonna be able to get this cap and have Uber ready to push for last. It's actually even more sizable advantage, up to 40-50% now. And now this push is coming from Lowpander. All eyes are on them. Can they pull it forward? They do spot AMS on the heavy now. Tom jumping up top, gonna connect onto Mookie and keep him out of the fight. For just a moment, they're both gonna exchange, and the sentry gun does go down. AMS is taken down. The Uber is popped off. Can they get the cap in time? It's 6 seconds left on the clock, and they're still sticking all over the point. It's supposed to get alive. It's just Mod alive. The back comes out, and it's not going to be enough. That was a desperate push, but Lowpander missed it by seconds. And round goes to Antic.
Wow. Antic, they're not kidding anymore. They actually beat Lowpander. Not many people expected it, I think, but especially in Granary, where we know how Mookie is strong onto mid, but yeah, they cracked the code. Smear really good onto. I think Smear is the MVP because he won the mid to his team, and I think that's what made the difference. Remember that really quick round that was like 1 minute to 30 seconds. That was all up to Smear, really aggressive on mid, and Antic did it. That's quite a blow, I think, to Lowpander ambitions. I don't think they expected to lose to Antic, and again, if we consider this cup, looking forward to I-61, this is really, really promising for the LAN.
Yeah, that was actually really close, and it was just a matter of time on their side that led to Lowpander's very, very razor-thin loss. When you look at the stats, all the kills were relatively even across the board. The damage was so good. AMS top damaging, almost top fragging, but that belongs to Cookie, who managed to pull out 22 frags by the end of the match. And honestly, all the plays from Mookie were so insane. I think Mookie's going to be a very interesting threat on LAN if he can pull off those spy plays very nicely. But AMS put on his spy shoes, and he retaliated with an amazing surf strafe stab to take out Crayon. So that will be it for the match. Anything else in these logs you want to look at that you see here?
Turbo dropped 3 times, but in the end they won, so maybe, dropping Uber isn't really such a heavy blow to your team. But yeah, really interesting to see. I mentioned it before that Lowpander's strength on Granary are their mids, but look at this. Their 6 mids were played, and Antic won 4 of them. I actually think they thought about how to play versus Lowpander, and not only for this cup, for LAN as well, and it's really, really interesting to see that they managed to pull off their strategies. And look at this. Remember, this is Granary, yet they won a round in less than 1 minute. That's really impressive.
Very good match overall. I'm very excited to see these teams battle it out later this week on the stage where it matters, the Insomnia 61 LAN, happening this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Over here on the Essentials.TF channel. Really good stuff from Lowpander. They really came through, but unfortunately couldn't cap it out. Like I said, that very last push was what it came down to, and it was just an unfortunate exchange. They lost to the Scouts, too strong from Antic, and Antic showing up for this cup, and hopefully going to keep up this momentum later on this week at the Insomnia LAN. So we're going to be getting ready with our next match. We're going to be trying to get Antic, or no, not Antic, I'm sorry.
Ascent, I think.
Swift versus Ascent EU. So that will be coming up next as soon as we get the server info and all the things are set up. So we're going to be going to another music break. Enjoy the wonderful tunes of Wiethoofd, our DJ and camera guy. I've been Ro, and Ombrack has joined me for this, and we'll be seeing you at the next match.